What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions.
Get with this.
We've made it to another weekend, which means it's time for another edition of Sabaton Saturday. And this is the dedicated day of the week where I continue my personal adventure discovering the music of Sabaton and also learning a lot of cool history along the way. And I'm super excited about today's song because I've heard that this is one of the more popular Sabaton songs, and it also has to deal with history from their home country of Sweden. I also read that their vocalist, Joachim, has gone on record as saying he thinks this is one of the best Sabaton songs he thinks he's ever written. That's a bold statement, and if he thinks that, I think I'm in for a treat today because I already like all their other music I've heard, and if he thinks this is the best, man, I'm excited. Now, I do a little bit of background research before these songs just so I know what I'm getting into, and today's song revolves around Gustavus Adolphus, who, after his father Charles IX died, he took over the throne as the King of Sweden at the age of 16. And in 1611, when he took over, he inherited 3 ongoing wars from his father, and while there were minor setbacks early on, he quickly proved himself as a very adept military commander and also put Sweden on the map as one of the top military powers in Europe at the time. Now, there's an old prophecy that alludes to a golden lion from the north that'll return to aid the true believers, and that's exactly what this song title is about, and that is the nickname that Gustavus Adolphus earned for himself while he was the King of Sweden. So as always, I'm gonna watch the lyric video first just so I can get a better idea of what's going on, and I will link these videos in the description below. Today, I'm once again gonna be listening to Sabaton, and for the very first time hearing their song, The Lion from the North. Let's go! Are we getting a mix of like a live performance video too?
A time of religion and war, legends tell the tale of a lion. This beast in the shape of a man with a dream to rule sea and land. And all those who stand in his way die by God and victorious arms. With righteousness follows him south, once more shall show to war. Legends have taught that goes forth, this lion has no fear at heart. Lion come forth, come from the north, come from the north. Gustavus, Adolphus, libera et impera, acervus et ingens.
So I'll admit right now, I assume that's Latin. I don't know Latin. I'm gonna have to look up what that means in the chorus after his name. But cool sounding song, man. It's got the same kind of vibe as some of their other more, I would say, serious sounding, but like really driving songs like Ghost Division, 40 to 1, stuff like that. I'm really enjoying this so far, man. This is awesome. I cannot wait to watch this live performance.
A storm over Europe unleashed on a war, a trail of destruction. The power of Rome won't prevail. See the Catholics shiver and shake. The future of warfare unveiled, showed the way that we still walk today. Der Löwe aus Mitternacht comes once more. He's here for war. Stories
So real quick, before this bridge, just concerning some of the lyric matter, it just hit me. I'm trying to remember when the 30 Years' War was. I think it was around this time when he was king, because I saw in En Liefste de Krieg, which was about the 30 Years' War, that involved Catholics and Protestants. This is kind of ringing a bell. Now I can't wait to watch a Sabaton history on this, because I wonder if he was on the throne of Sweden when that war was going on. And it would make sense. I would guess that that's correct, because from the prophecy that I saw and the way they broke it down was when they refer to a golden lion from the north aiding the true believers. The true believers were referring to Protestants in that Swedish propaganda they used. And when they talked about him defeating their enemies, they were talking about Catholics. So this would totally make sense that this was around the time of the 30 Years' War. Let's continue. Really quick before we continue, I started singing 40-1 in that bridge in my head. In my head when that was going on, I was like, always remember a fallen soldier. It really sounds similar. Always remember fathers and sons of war. I like that bass part that was just standing out in back. Oh! That is definitely keyboards. Really quick before I finish this, that was definitely a keyboard solo at the end there. So I'm curious if this song was written when they still had a full-time keyboardist in the band. And if they do that live now, I would assume that's either tracked or one of the guitar players just plays that part. Man, there's something about this music with the historical element to it that just gets me amped up, dude. Like, I just feel it. Let's finish this off and go check out that live version.
Gustavus, Adolphus,
All right. Dude, did I just see A&P Reacts as the suggested video at the end of that? Or are they... I don't know if that's a reaction. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's wild seeing A&P on there. Let's go check out the live version of this. I'm stoked. All right. I just found out something super exciting. So originally it was just going to be that lyric video and a live performance, but I just saw that there is a music video featuring tour footage from the Great Tour, which we're going to watch in a second. And then there's another live version. So this just turned into a triple reaction. So let's move on to the music video for The Lion from the North, and then we'll go to the live version. God damn. Tour footage. Dude, I'm gonna love this video because most of you that are watching probably know before I started my YouTube channel during this pandemic, that's what I do for a living. I am a touring guitar tech, but I've also done a lot of other jobs as well. So, God, I want to keep pausing and breaking down all of this now, but we'll wait for a break again and we'll talk about everything I've seen production-wise. This might just be a production talk video and we'll talk gear in the live one, but we'll find out.
Legends tell the tale of a lion. This beast in the shape of a man with a dream to rule sea and land. And all those who stand in his way die by God and victorious are.
Yes.
With righteous that follows him south, once more till shore to war. Legends have taught that those fought, this lion has no fear at heart. Lion come forth, come from the north, come from the north. Gustavus, Adolphus, Nivera et Impera, Acervus, et Ingens, Augusta et Augusta.
Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna have to try to remember everything I saw. So one of the first shots that you saw of them inside the arena was when they were rigging and they were getting the rigging up in the air. And what I mean by that is that everything that you see at a live show when you're in like an arena setting like this, that stuff doesn't live there. A crew has to set that up every single day. So they have riggers that go up into the rigging grid or the scaffolding, and they keep riggers on the floor that they have to mark out all those points early in the morning so that they throw up ropes and then chains, and they put all of that stuff in the air. It's a lot of work. I've been on tours where if our load-in's at like, I don't know, 8 in the morning, they're in there at 5:30 or 6 a.m. marking the floor for points for rigging, man. I have never been a rigger. I don't know if I could handle being up there climbing around, but mad props to everybody that are riggers, because that's a lot of detail and a lot of the show, man, because all the lights and the PA and everything gets hung in the air. We saw some backstage shots of the band warming up backstage where all their amps, and they had an electronic kit back there. That's another job for the techs. The techs usually take all that extra stuff back there and set it up for the band so the band can just walk in and play. There's a chance that Hannes might have set up that drum kit himself, but most tours I've been on, that's the responsibility of his tech, is to set up that other drum kit. Awesome backstage shots, man. It makes me so happy to see them fist bumping everybody when they're going to stage. That was my thing before every show. I would go around to my entire crew on the stage and every band member and give them a fist bump. Just gets you in a good mood. Talk to the security people backstage, give them a fist bump too. Oh, let's keep going.
The power of Rome won't prevail. See the Catholics shiver and shake. The future of warfare unveiled. Show the way that we still walk today. Der Löwe aus Mitternacht comes once more. He's here for war. So
What? Where'd that plane come from?
unfold control over you.
So I feel like I'm seeing a lot of stuff going on that I haven't seen from other performances. I hope I didn't just ruin anything for myself, but I saw a plane on stage. I'm pretty sure that was Apocalyptica on stage. At one point, I thought it was Joachim playing, but then I realized it wasn't. I think that was a member of Apocalyptica dressed up as Joachim. What else did I see? I saw a guy in a full gas mask, like hazmat military suit. Like, I love that they keep just showing shots of all their freaking pyro too. So much. Oh, let's keep going. This is a blast. Really quick, one thing I gotta point out. So the other day, my buddy Chase and I were talking about when you see videos, and this happens a lot in movies and TV too, where there's a scene where there's a band playing, like actors in a TV show, they're supposed to be playing. They're not miming at all with what's going on in the music. And for me, being in the industry and stuff like that, it just drives me nuts. It's a pet peeve. That was a really great shot of Per playing bass, and it looked exactly like that was the part he was playing. So props to whoever edited this video, because that's a really little minor detail that I just think is really awesome. It might not be the exact bass line, but they at least made it look like it was. I appreciate that. Well, that's the end of Night Witches. Before this last chorus, I'm just seeing so much cool stuff going on. Like, I saw the happy birthday over Hannes's drum kit. I'm assuming it was his birthday. The plane on stage, I've got to guess, is for Red Baron. Like, I haven't heard that song yet or seen the video, but it's got to be for that. But man, this is just such a fun music video. Let's finish it off here. Oh, we've still got some time left. Let's see where this goes.
Come from the north. Gustavus, Adolphus, Nivera, Nivera, Adolphus, Henningens, Augusta, Augusta, Gustavus, Adolphus, Nivera, Nivera, Adolphus, Henningens, Nivera, Nivera.
Damn, this is great. Oh, are we getting a lot of credits? Okay, so as always, I always respect these videos. I'm gonna watch whatever the next 2 minutes of this is. But man, that was a great video. And this is one of those times where, like, I headbang so much when I'm into the music that I'm glad I didn't that time, because I could actually see what was going on. I don't know how much I missed in the beginning part when I was headbanging, but I'm glad I didn't the rest of the time. We'll save it for the live video. Crew credits.
That's how it's supposed to be. That was good. Fucking hell. 15,000
Oh, real
people.
quick, fun fact. Somebody whose name is on the screen right now, I've been talking to recently and may have on an episode of Interview with a Roadie sometime soon. Keep on the lookout for that.
Whoa. Whoa. Det där var inte kul.
Det var jätteroligt. Sluta nu.
Anyway, so that was a great show in Prague.
So, as Hannes said, that was a great show in Prague. Wow, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you for...
Dude, this is another thing I love, man. Just like Nightwish, they're crediting everybody. Hold on real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 truck drivers listed. That means for anybody that's tried to tell me they saw 5 or 6 trucks or whatever on this tour, 12 trucks. That's how much it takes to haul all this gear show to show.
Even though Joakim didn't do
It's still good night.
9 tour buses.
Thank you so much. We had a great time and we couldn't...
We go back to Joakim later. Hannes.
I can do it.
Ah! Fuck, not on the balls, man.
I can do this for hours.
God, I love seeing bands giving credit to everybody that's on their road crew. And I'm not surprised with these guys, to be honest. All right. Let's go watch this live version. All right, live version. And this one is going to be awesome because I just noticed it is in Stockholm. And this one looks like it's going to be in Swedish. So, I'm sorry to all my Swedish friends if I slaughter this pronunciation. But we are about to watch Lejonet Från Norden. Live from the Great Tour. Sure is dark. There we go. Apocalyptica! Yes! Apocalyptica's up there with them. Oh, so cool. Really quick before the chorus, man. Awesome, awesome touch with Apocalyptica up there. And I was kind of curious after watching 82nd All the Way with Amaranth, sorry, brain fart for a second. I was wondering if there was going to be something online with a song with Apocalyptica because they run that tour too. If you've never seen Apocalyptica live, I would highly recommend it. I've seen them a couple times, which is probably why you haven't seen a reaction on this channel. I'm pretty familiar with them. Apocalyptica, funny enough, started as a Metallica like cover tribute band that they did with these stringed instruments, and then turned into a band that did original stuff. And, you know, when they tour live, they've got a drummer and all this other... Dude, it's a great show. You have to check it out. Let's continue.
Gustavus, Adolphus,
Oh, hey, Bear. That is So there has been pyro going this entire song non-stop. And I've talked about pyro a lot on this channel with flames and stuff. Most of everything we're seeing, actually, I think everything I've seen so far is liquid-based flame units. And in the music video shot that we saw where there's like tons of confetti and stuff coming down, I know a thought about that is like, how is that stuff not lighting on fire? It's because when the liquid sprays out through these units, it's so pressurized that it probably, the air that's coming out with it is kind of blowing away some of the confetti from it as well. And it's such a quick burst that it would take a lot more. Also, good possibility that some of the confetti that they're using is flame retardant material. This is wild, man. I absolutely love this. And the fact that Apocalyptica is out there moving around means they're not cabled. They have wireless mics on their instruments. Monitor engineer mixing for them. Front of house engineer has to mix those in for that song. A lot of work on the crew end that goes in just to have special guests like this on here. Oh, that bass tone is so good. Ah, that's the same shot from the music video, so he is playing that line in the video. Good touch. Love it. Called it. So, like we were talking about in that original video, instead of having that keyboard part, since they don't have a keyboard player touring with them anymore, they didn't use tracked keyboards. They had one of the other guitar players take over that solo part. Super awesome. Last thing I wanted to talk about before we finish this video off, a lot of people commented on YouTube and said they were at this show. The only complaint that they had with the stage setup was the barricade in front. And I'll tell you right now why that barricade is there like that. It's because they have so much pyro going on. They don't want the risk of anybody trying to run up and get on stage at all. On top of that, it looks sick, let's be honest. But let's finish this off, man. This is awesome. I'm having a blast. Yes. Oh, it's sick. Let's go talk about it. If my memory serves me correctly, and I'm not mistaken, I think this was my first triple reaction on this channel. So that being said, I'm not going to take up a lot more time. I'm just going to tell you that was probably one of my favorite Sabaton songs I've heard so far, especially considering the historical context and the background story. Super awesome, man. I cannot wait to watch this Sabaton history episode. And if you're not familiar with that, Sabaton has a YouTube channel where they break down the history of all these songs. And if you're interested in watching that, I'll put a link to that in the description below. Thank you guys for recommending this one. This was an absolute blast. I cannot wait to listen to more music from this band. If this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe. I release new videos all the time, so if you turn the alerts on, you'll be notified when I put new material out. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like, but if you disliked it, you're free to, man. Thank you for watching this time. I think you're crazy if you don't like this, but that's just me. Click dislike, you're free to move on. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I have a Discord server. I stream on Twitch from time to time, and I'll put the links for all that in the description too. And my handle on everything social media related is @TankTheTech. Thank you so much for watching once again. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.